With just one casual sentence, the girl triggered a miracle. The dragon egg that had lain dormant for 10 years suddenly cracked open, hatching a pure white dragon that instantly turned into an adorable baby dragon. Her name was Lu Xinhua, a 16-year-old high schooler. To earn her tuition fees, she worked part-time as a photographer, following the hottest boy band, Boys. But their fans were simply too crazy. Squeezed in the crowd, she raised her camera desperately, the shutter clicking non-stop. Just then, a black sedan pulled up. Stepping out was none other than Si Che from the Empire Group. As Si Che got out, he noticed the entrance packed with people. With a hint of curiosity, his assistant explained that an idol group had rented the place for a press conference. Suddenly, someone shouted, "Isn't that the young master of the Empire Group?" Still focused on photographing her idols, Lu Xinhua was confused about who they meant. But a swarm of fangirls rushed forward like crazy. Her beloved camera slipped from her hands and went flying. Acting on instinct, she dove after it to protect it. The timing couldn't have been worse. She crashed straight into Si Che. And to make things even more embarrassing, her hand accidentally pressed against his private area. Si Che suppressed his fury and asked coldly, "Have you touched enough?" Terrified, Lu Xinhua jumped up and denied without thinking, stammering, "I didn't touch anything. I swear I didn't touch anything soft." Si Che's face darkened, his teeth clenched as he repeated, "Soft?" Lu Xinhua felt danger rising in her chest and tried to run, but Si Che's hand was faster. He caught her with a mocking laugh. "Run? Where do you think you can escape to?" With pitiful eyes, she kept apologizing, pleading desperately, "I was talking nonsense. I was being stupid. You don't have anything soft. Please forgive me." Si Che's voice was cold and merciless as he demanded, "Choose, your hand or your life?" Trembling, Lu Xinhua cursed at him in fear, "You heartless bastard." But as she looked up at the sky behind him, an ominous feeling gripped her chest. Could it be that danger was about to strike? Lu Xinhua looked dead serious as she warned, "Don't sit there. Move away from the window or you'll be struck by lightning." Si Che's face twisted with confusion and anger. "What did you just say?" Fury burned inside him. This ugly girl with a birthmark. Faking a fall and sneaking a touch was bad enough, and now she dared to curse him with lightning? Startled by his shout, Lu Xinhua lowered her voice but still insisted, "I said you'd better stay away from the window, or you might get struck." Rage flickered in Si Che's clear eyes as he glared at her. "You dare curse me again?" Suddenly, a deafening thunderclap erupted outside, lightning splitting the sky as the entire table shook violently. The wicker basket on the table trembled as well, and something inside began to stir. Both of them noticed. One was curious about what could be inside, while the other was shocked that it reacted at all. Still full of naive curiosity, Lu Xinhua blurted out, "Hey young master, whatever's in your basket, it seems scared of thunder." Si Che's face darkened and he barked an order to his men, "Throw this girl out." Lu Xinhua bolted as if granted a pardon, muttering as she ran, "No need, I can throw myself out." Even as she rushed out the door, she turned back to shout one last warning, "Remember to stay away from the window or you'll really get struck by lightning." Si Che lifted the box he had just opened, his mind shaken. For over a decade it had shown no sign of life. Why was it reacting today? Could it really be afraid of thunder? With that thought, he raised the egg in his hand closer to the window. Boom! A blinding flash split the sky, the thunder so loud it shattered the glass. Lightning struck Si Che directly, and the egg in his hands cracked open with a jagged line. From within emerged a chubby, snow-white baby dragon. The little dragon adorably tugged at Si Che's fingers, while his assistant shrieked, "Si Che, you got struck by lightning. No way." Si Che's voice was cold and sharp. "Shut up." Strangely, the baby dragon's expression mirrored his exactly. The assistant was dumbfounded, staring at the dragon in shock. The dragon had truly hatched. That ugly girl's words had come true. Was it just a cursed coincidence or something more? Back at Imperial High School, Lu Xinhua lay under a tree, dozing off. Every time she made a prophecy, exhaustion followed, and now she was half asleep, wondering vaguely what had happened to that young master. Just as she drifted, a soccer ball flew from afar and smacked her squarely on the head. A nearby girl shouted mockingly, "Jinx! Who are you cursing this time, you ugly freak?" Rubbing her aching head, Lu Xinhua suddenly felt the surge of foresight again. She predicted that very girl was about to get hit by the ball next. Lu Xinhua warned seriously, "Don't hang around the sports field, you'll get hit by the ball." But the girls only sneered, mocking her. The jinx is cursing people again. The very next second, the arrogant girl was smacked by a ball, a huge bump swelling on her head. At Lion Academy, inside the student council room, the baby dragon was busy playing with the chandelier. Like a little husky bent on wrecking the place, the only time it ever calmed down was when piano music played. Jiaran chuckled in surprise. "So, you actually appreciate box music? Sikigeva Koldsnort. It's him who likes it. If I don't play something, he'll start tearing the place apart again." The little white dragon wagged his tail happily, clearly enjoying it. Jiaran sighed, "But the little guy still refuses to eat. You still haven't found the bride who can feed him, have you?" Si-che spread his hands and shook his head helplessly. "Seriously, you're a terrible father," Jiaran muttered. "There are plenty of girls willing to be his bride, but you reject them all. Be too picky and your dragon's going to starve." Si-che shot back coldly, "It's the dragon who's picky. If he wants to starve, that's his choice." Jiaran handed him a file. "Here, the list of this year's exchange students. One of them will definitely catch your interest." Si-che glanced at it, then angrily flung it aside. "Isn't this that ugly girl who assaulted me? I refuse." Jiaran spoke with a serious tone. "This girl carries the aura of prophecy. The student council suspects she might be one of the lost ones, so we've decided to bring her into Lion Academy." Si-che instantly recalled how she had once touched him where she shouldn't have, and the fact that she was an ugly girl made it the ultimate humiliation of his life. He pushed back immediately. "I'm the president of the student council and I object." Jiaran adjusted his glasses with a smile. "Your objection is invalid. The invitation has already been sent." Si-che was left completely dumbstruck. The next day, Lu Xinhua yawned non-stop, grumbling to herself that heaven must be punishing her for spilling too many secrets. Suddenly, a classmate came running, telling her the dean wanted to see her in his office. Panic surged in her chest. What was going on? Why would the dean suddenly summon her? Had she done something wrong? Nervously stepping into the office, she was handed an invitation card. "Lion Academy has personally selected you to be an exchange student next semester," the dean announced. "You'll have the afternoon off to visit the school. Take plenty of photos while you're there," he added. Lu Xinhua stared at the invitation card in disbelief. Lion Academy actually wanted her as an exchange student? Was this really a pie falling from the sky? Nearby, the student council president sneered, "Hey, Jinx, Lion Academy must be doing charity work to choose you. Otherwise, why wouldn't they pick me, the actual student president?" She went on mocking, "That kind of noble academy? A lowly commoner like you has no right to step foot inside." But Lu Xinhua ignored her completely, replying softly, "Oh? Is that all? If you're done, I'll be heading off to Lion for my visit." "So this is Lion Academy?" Lu Xinhua gasped in awe. "Oh my god. This isn't a school, it's a castle garden straight out of another century." Standing before the massive gates, she froze, stunned by how enormous the academy was. After wandering in circles, she finally found her destination. Just as she raised her hand to knock, bang! The entire door burst open and a massive azure dragon lunged past her, brushing right by. Lu Xinhua was too terrified to speak. The entire office was filled with the dragon's coils, while a white dragon hovered protectively around one man. That man was clad in a strange silver robe, a fine sash at his waist, radiating the aura of an ancient king. Shock overwhelmed her and she fainted on the spot. In a haze, she heard voices arguing something about a white dragon. In her dream, a white dragon flew straight at her. Panicked, she screamed, "Don't eat me." Two voices shouted in unison, "Shut up." Seeing the dragons looming behind them, Lu Xinhua trembled violently, hugging herself as a sharp scream tore from her throat. Si-che clutched his head, his ears ringing. "Shut up. Scream again and I'll have little white eat you." Jiaran, erase her memory now. The dragon's panicking, the whole tower's about to collapse. Jiaran raised his hand, casting a spell. His voice was calm and steady as he murmured, "Don't be afraid. Relax. You will forget everything you saw here." Ji Yaren's spell wasn't even finished. He hadn't completed the words, "You won't remember," when Lu Xinhua suddenly screamed again, "Aya! Help! There's a dragon eating people!" Ji Yaren blinked in surprise. His hypnosis didn't work on her? These two were clearly fated enemies. The moment they met, it was non-stop chaos. Si Che lost his patience and barked, "Little white, eat her." The dragon slithered forward, its massive body looming. Lu Xinhua froze in terror, realizing that if she fainted now, she might really be devoured. In desperation, she straightened her posture, pulled a pile of snacks from her backpack and laid them out in front of the dragon. "Don't eat me. Take these instead," she pleaded. For a tense moment, the two stared at each other. Si Che sneered. "The white dragon is the noblest creature in existence. Do you really think it would touch human junk food?" But to everyone's shock, the dragon suddenly burst into a puff of white mist, transforming into the figure of a young boy. The little one dashed straight to the snacks, munching on chocolate like an excited child. Si Che was completely stunned. How could little white eat the food she offered? Didn't this mean? Lu Xinhua gazed at the dragon in human form, finding him irresistibly cute and not scary at all. Then to her shock, little white babbled out a sound, "Mama." Si Che's heart nearly shattered. A white dragon only ever recognizes one woman as its mother for life. If little white acknowledged this girl, wouldn't that mean he and she were fated together? Ji Yaren smirked mischievously. "Hey, your dragon's got good taste. Looks like he picked your destined one." Si Che was livid, almost spitting blood. "No, absolutely not. Little white can't recognize some ugly girl as his mother." Lu Xinhua snapped, her temper flaring. "Once is enough." She shouted back, "You're the ugly one. Your whole family's ugly. And teaching such an adorable dragon to eat people? You're the real cold-blooded freak." Little white echoed her fury with a sharp growl. At that moment, Si Che was no better than a child, bickering back and forth. "Little white, don't you dare betray me. Eat food from an ugly girl and you'll turn ugly too." To everyone's surprise, the baby dragon zipped forward, planting a kiss on Lu Xinu's cheek with a mischievous grin. Si Che clenched his fists in rage. "You actually kissed her. You little brat, just wait until I catch you. I'll teach you how a real dragon behaves." He lunged forward. But little white dodged nimbly, leaping straight into Lu Xinua's arms. The next second, something straight out of a TV drama happened. The two of them accidentally kissed. Ji Yaren watched with a face full of amusement, the perfect bystander eating popcorn. Lu Xinhua snapped back to her senses, shoving Si Che away. She hurled her backpack at him and shouted, "You pervert!" Meanwhile, little white's eyes lit up at the sight of all the snacks spilling out. Si Che shamelessly retorted, "And when you touched me, that wasn't perverted? You touch me once, I kiss you once, now we're even." Ji Yaren quickly tried to mediate. "Come on, you'll all be classmates from now on. Let's just get along." But the two shouted in perfect unison, "Impossible." Lu Xinhua held up her invitation angrily. "I was going to sign this, but I've decided to refuse the exchange program." She glared at him. "I won't study at the same school as a cold-blooded pervert. My life would be in danger." With that, she ripped the invitation to shreds, tossed the pieces at Si Che's feet, and stormed off without looking back. Si Che's expression darkened. He barked an order to Ji Yaren, "Stop her. She's already learned about the dragons. We can't let her walk away." Ji Yaren completely ignored Si Che's outburst and instead praised Little White. "Well done. The bride you picked for your father is a perfect match." Si Che's eyes sharpened, his voice dripping with fury. "You dare ignore me? You're actually siding with an ugly." Before he could finish, Little White hurled a bottle at him in anger, his childish voice ringing out, "Don't call my mom ugly." Si Che shut down on the spot. That ugly girl was actually his fated bride? How could he ever show his face among the dragon clan again? Ji Yaren sighed. "Whether you accept it or not doesn't matter. What matters is that Little White will only eat food from his chosen bride." Si Che glanced at the little dragon happily munching on snacks, doubt gnawing at him. Was it true he only ate what she gave him? Ji Yaren gave him a knowing look. "The real issue isn't whether you agree. It's that Lu Xinhua already sees you as a cold-blooded pervert." Every word she said hit you right in the heart, didn't it? Si Che gritted his teeth in fury. "No, I will never acknowledge that ugly girl as my bride. With that, he swore to himself, vowing never to speak a single word to her again. Back home, Lu Xino's mind was still spinning, replaying the shocking scenes she had witnessed yesterday. After she finished washing up, her uncle noticed the stunned expression lingering on her face. Later, she casually picked up her camera and snapped a photo. A smile spread across her face. Without the birthmark, Nono looked like a natural model, stunning in every shot. Realizing something, Lu Xinhua rushed to the mirror. Staring at her reflection, she was utterly shocked. The birthmark was truly gone. What happened to me? Meanwhile, Si-che had just woken up. He yawned, rubbing Little White's head in greeting. But the baby dragon only tilted his head in confusion. Who are you? The two locked eyes for a moment until suddenly Little White chomped down on Si-che's finger. Little White, why are you biting me? Sikerord. Jiaran, can't you control him? Jiaran hugged the baby dragon, a mischievous grin on his face. And you are? Si-che was dumbfounded. What the hell is going on? Jiaran smirked. Relax, I'm joking. But seriously, don't you feel like something's missing? Still puzzled, Si-che searched within himself, then froze. His dragon spirit was gone. He dropped to his knees in shock, face pale. Jiaran sneered, you even managed to lose your dragon spirit? Without it, of course Little White doesn't recognize you. Getting bitten is exactly what you deserve. Leaning closer to whisper in the dragon's ear, Jiaran teased, your dad's gone stupid. Don't stick with him, he'll drag your IQ down. At that moment, Si-che truly looked like an idiot, muttering to himself over and over, my dragon spirit is gone. Where did it go? Jiaran suggested slyly, could it be that when you kissed that girl yesterday she took it with her? Si-che froze as realization struck him. I have to find her and take it back, he shouted. Jiaran immediately mimicked Si-che's vow from the day before, imitating his tone perfectly. Si-che will never speak another word to that ugly girl. Si-che halted mid-step, his body stiffening. Jiaran and Little White burst into laughter, showing him no mercy. Meanwhile, Lu Xinhua sprinted toward the school gate like she was running a 100-meter dash, barely making it inside at the last second. She returned to class, her golden curls bouncing, her cheeks flushed red from the run. Without the unsightly birthmark, she looked like a perfect porcelain doll. Male classmates whispered in awe. Oh my god, am I seeing things? She's adorable, gorgeous. Even the school beauty can't compare. It was the first time Lu Xinhua had ever been praised so kindly. But a girl led a group to surround her, sneering, Jinx, you were gone all afternoon yesterday. Don't tell me you went to get plastic surgery. Lu Xinhua quickly and firmly denied it. I didn't. Stop talking nonsense. Yet no matter how she explained, they refused to believe her. Snickering, they added, admit it, you just want to snag a rich husband at Lion Academy. Seeing her explanation fall on deaf ears, Lu Xinhua gave up. He was already used to this kind of ridicule. Just then, the self-proclaimed school beauty Chi Weiwei walked over, radiating green tea energy as she said sweetly, come on everyone, believe Lu. Plastic surgery can't possibly be done in just one day. Hearing that, the others stopped pressing the issue. Lu Xinhua herself was touched. She hadn't expected Chi Weiwei to defend her. At that moment, a childish voice suddenly rang out, Mama! Hug! Everyone turned in shock. A handsome little boy was being carried effortlessly in the arm of a man who was breathtakingly handsome and radiated noble aura. As people whispered, wondering who the baby was calling Mama, Lu Xinhua panicked and tried to slip away quietly. But Si-che's eyes locked on her instantly. His cold command rang out, Lu Xinhua, get over here. Now. At that moment, she wished the ground would open up and swallow her whole. Just then, the student council's vice president walked over, puzzled. What's going on here? Why is there such a crowd? One girl immediately blurted out, Lu Xinhua's son came to find her. The vice president jumped in shock. Lu Guinon, you're only in your first year and you already have a son. Flustered, Lu Xinhua rushed to explain, Toe? That's nonsense. Nothing like that happened. Without waiting for a reply, she grabbed the man and the boy, dragging them both away in a hurry. Dragging them into the school garden, Lu Xinhua panted angrily. Why did you come to my school again? And making Little White call me mom? How am I supposed to face my classmates now? Si-che looked at her with disdain. You think I wanted to come find you? But the closer I looked, the more I realized. Even the ugly girl who stole from me can turn into a swan. Lu Xinhua staggered back in panic. What nonsense are you spouting? When did I ever steal from you? Stop slandering me. Si-che slammed his hand against the tree, trapping her in place. Slander? Then let me show you exactly what you stole. His fingers clamped tightly around her chin, forcing her to look up. In the next instant, his lips crashed down on hers. Lu Xinua's eyes widened in shock. He was kissing her by force. She struggled desperately, but his grip on her back was iron-strong, impossible to break free from. Confusion flickered in Si-che's mind. Why couldn't he retrieve it? Could it be that a kiss wasn't enough to take back his dragon spirit? Frowning, he deepened the kiss, pressing harder. Lu Xinhua trembled with fury, unable to endure it any longer. Summoning all her strength, she shoved him away and landed a fierce punch square on his face, shouting, "You pervert!" Si-che clutched his cheek, stunned. You actually hit me?" Lu Xinua's emotions burst out. "Damn right I hit you. You didn't even ask for my consent." Her breath came fast and uneven, her thoughts jumbled. But she growled, "Forget it, that doesn't matter. I just want to hit you again." She raised her fist once more. This time he caught her punch with ease, smirking. "Why so worked up? Don't tell me you're blushing because you're shy." Lu Xinua's face turned crimson as if exposed, but she snapped back stubbornly, "Shut up." Si-che snorted arrogantly. "Relax. If you hadn't stolen from me, I'd never have kissed a violent, ugly girl like you. You only became pretty because of me. Hurry up and kneel to thank Lord Si-che." Lu Xinhua nearly exploded. "When did I ever steal from you? Stop slandering me." Pointing straight at her, Si-che snapped, "Of course you did. During that damned accident yesterday, you took my dragon's spirit." Lu Xinhua blinked in confusion. "Dragon spirit? What even is that? When did I ever take it?" Si-che gestured toward Little White. "Give it back, now. Without my dragon spirit I can't feed him. He'll starve to death." Lu Xinhua glanced at the dragon in puzzlement. Behind him was a trail of destruction, and in his hand a freshly plucked lily, clearly meant for her. She couldn't help but sigh. Was this supposed to be a dragon, or just a house-wrecking husky? Little White gazed at her pitifully, then suddenly burst into loud wails. Lu Xinhua panicked. Why is he crying all of a sudden? Si-che threw up his hands. "My dragon spirit's with you now. Purity calls you mom. You handle it." Lu Xinhua was on the verge of tears herself. "Then take it back yourself." "Ugh, what do I do?" she cried, clutching the sobbing dragon. Si-che muttered, "Maybe he's just hungry." Taking a deep breath, Lu Xinhua snapped out an order. "There's a convenience store across the street. Go buy him some food now." Si-che smirked smugly. "Why should I? You're the one who stole my dragon spirit. You go." Smack. Lu Xinhua slapped him again. "I said go buy it." Soon after, Si-che returned with the food. Sitting together on a bench, Little White gulped down the milk in one go. Si-che's gaze lingered on Lu Xinhua, who now radiated a gentle maternal glow as she calmed and fed the dragon. With the dragon spirit residing in her body, he thought grimly, "Seems I'll have to endure this for now." His voice carried the weight of command. "I've already approved your transfer to Lion Academy. Report tomorrow. Your tuition and housing will be free, but in return you'll be responsible for feeding Little White." Faced with such an enticing offer, Lu Xinhua rejected it outright. "I hate you. Your dragon's done crying and he's full now. You can leave." She shoved Little White back into his arms, then pulled a childish, mocking face at him as if to say she despised him. Si-che's expression darkened. "Say that again." But Lu Xinhua didn't look back, striding away and leaving him and the baby dragon frozen in place. From the shadows of the campus trees, a hidden figure witnessed everything. His eyes locked onto her, disbelief flashing across his face. Lu Xinhua can feed the white dragon? The so-called jinx of Imperial High, actually fated as Si-che's bride? Interesting. Back in the classroom, Lu Xinhua crept inside quietly, hoping to slip to her seat unnoticed. But after only a few steps, someone called out to her. She froze, thinking it was a teacher, only to turn and see it was a classmate. Relieved, she let out a small sigh. A group of girls cornered Lu Xino, teasing, "So, will that handsome guy be trailing behind you from now on?" She didn't want to explain, only trying to slip back to her seat, but they blocked her path. One girl added maliciously, "We've been classmates for so long and you've already snagged a handsome guy. Not even planning to introduce him to us." Chi Weiwei cut in with her trademark sugary tone. "That Lion Academy boy must be Lu's boyfriend, right? Not wanting to share your boyfriend is perfectly normal." Lu Xinhua was just about to thank Chi Weiwei for defusing the situation, when other classmates sneered, "Seriously? The prestigious Lion Academy, full of heirs to noble families, and that gorgeous guy is dating a jinx." Chi Weiwei quickly defended her again. Maybe what he likes about her is her kindness. And even if she was the one who confessed, there's nothing wrong with that. But the others scoffed, "Don't be fooled by her act. A toad can't eat swan meat." Chi Weiwei was about to argue further, but Lu Xinhua stopped her with a quiet gesture. She thought to herself, "It doesn't matter. I don't care what they say." During class, just as Lu Xinhua was about to doze off, a crumpled paper ball smacked her. Opening it, she found it was a challenge letter. She sighed helplessly. "I was planning to reject the exchange program after class, but it looks like more trouble is waiting for me instead." Lu Xinhua glanced at the clock. 2 minutes till the bell. Sitting in the back row had its perks. The moment class ended, she could dash out unseen. She smirked to herself. Smart little trickster. That way she wouldn't have to deal with any drama. Reject the exchange program, head home for dinner. That was the plan. But just as she reached the stairwell, she overheard her classmates talking. Can you believe it? The jinx actually got into Lion's exchange program. She must have pulled some dirty tricks. Let's block her after class and teach her a lesson. Lu Xinhua sighed. Trouble follows me everywhere. If I run into them, I'll never get away. Ugh, I still have to help Uncle with photos tonight. Forget it, better take a detour. As she slipped to another path, she spotted the very classmate who'd sent her the challenge. Quickly, she ducked behind a wall. The girl, unable to find her, muttered and headed straight for the school gate to lie in wait. Lu Xinhua's shoulders slumped. Great. Now I can't even leave through the front gate. Guess I'll have to take the unconventional route. Muttering under her breath, she cursed, "Damn you, Si Che. This is all your fault. Now I've got to climb walls just to get home." She stared at the wall ahead, took a deep breath and psyched herself up. It's just a wall. Nothing I can't handle. She tossed her bag over first, then grabbed onto a tree branch and climbed up. Just as she steadied herself on top of the wall, a figure suddenly appeared, startling her so badly her heart skipped a beat. Her foot slipped and she nearly fell, until a strong hand shot out and caught her just in time. Lu Xinhua froze when she saw the boy before her. Oh my god, that's Gu Xingyan, the perfect guy adored by every girl in school, the campus leader himself. Flustered and shy, she quickly pushed him away and jumped down. She had only taken a few steps when his voice stopped her. Gu Xingyan's dazzling smile lit up his face as he pressed a slender finger to his lips. "This will be our little secret, okay?" Lu Xinhua nodded quickly. "I promise I won't tell anyone." Meanwhile, chaos erupted at the school gates. A line of luxury cars pulled up, and out stepped a squad of tall, broad men in black suits, black pants and dark sunglasses. The security guard nervously approached. "Who exactly are you here to pick up?" In unison, the men replied, "We're here to wait for Lu Xinhua." The surrounding students were stunned. The girls who had planned to challenge her turned pale with fear. Crap. Did she get mixed up with someone dangerous? We'd better not let them know we even know Lu Xinhua. With that, they slipped away as fast as they could, terrified of being dragged into trouble. Lu Xinhua stretched lazily, her cheeks tinged with pink as she thought dreamily, that was Gu Xingyan, the heartthrob of Imperial High. He was so gentle. She couldn't help but swoon a little, marveling that even the top honor student and model senior would sneak over walls. When she noticed the crowd at the school gate, curiosity tugged at her, but she resisted the urge and headed straight home. Meanwhile, in the rose garden of Lion Academy, Ji Yaran glanced at the commotion and asked curiously, "What's going on here?" Si Che replied casually, "Your little white couldn't find his mom, so he threw a tantrum and wrecked the dessert shop in the West Tower. The student council is looking for an excuse to seal the place off." Ji Yaran chuckled in a teasing tone. "Word is, our mighty president has failed again?" Rising from the pool, Si-che revealed his perfect physique and declared with confidence, "Failed? No. This time I definitely won't fail. I sent an entire squad of bodyguards to pick her up after school. A poor plain girl like her, faced with such a grand display, she'd be overwhelmed instantly." Ji-yeon's smile widened. Pointing at the phone ringing nearby, he said mockingly, "Oh really? If I were you, I wouldn't be so sure until you answer that call." Si-che picked up only to hear the report. "The school's empty. We didn't find Lu Xinhua." His face darkened, fury rising. "She dared ignore my generosity? This is beyond embarrassing, humiliating enough to dig myself a whole apartment to hide in." Ji-yeon sneered lightly. "I told you, Mr. President. According to my thorough research, Lu Xinhua's notorious for resisting force. She only responds to kindness. Sending a guard squad to intimidate her? Completely useless." Si-che shot back immediately. "I wasn't intimidating her." Ji-yeon only shrugged, amused. "Call it what you want. The point is it didn't work. If you really want results, I suggest you swallow your pride and ask her nicely." Ji-yeon reminded him, "After all, Little White has already recognized Lu Xinhua as his mother. If you don't win her over soon, he might end up tearing down the entire Lion Academy." Si-che huffed arrogantly. "Me bow my head to a human? Absolutely impossible." No sooner had he spoken than Little White began wailing, clawing at his hair and crying for his mom. Si-che grabbed the baby dragon with a cold snort. "Bow my head? Never." He muttered through gritted teeth. "Wasn't sending a motorcade to pick her up after school enough? Just wait, I'll make her bow to me first." The next morning, as soon as Lu Xinhua stepped outside, she was surrounded by a squad of bodyguards in black suits. The sight was so intimidating she thought the mafia had come for her. Stunned, she wondered if she was hearing things and stammered, "Why, who are you looking for?" In unison, the bodyguards bowed respectfully. "By order of young Master Si-che, we are here to escort Miss Lu Xinhua to school." Lu Xinhua froze on the spot. What on earth is that young master plotting now? Lu Xinhua waved her hands frantically. "No need. I'll just take the bus myself." With that, she bolted away. She thought she had shaken them off, but to her horror, the convoy of luxury cars casually tailed the bus all the way, causing a massive traffic jam. The moment the bus stopped at school, the bodyguards rushed forward and rolled out a red carpet. The spectacle was so grand that students assumed some huge event was happening. Lu Xinhua wished she could dig a hole and bury herself. "This is way too embarrassing." Once in class, the teacher immediately scolded her. "Lu Xinhua, what on earth is going on? Who are these people behind you?" Her face flushed crimson. The embarrassment was unbearable. The bodyguards had actually followed her right into the classroom. By lunchtime, she finally found an excuse to slip away under the pretense of going to the bathroom, sneaking into the cafeteria line. But when she turned around, her jaw dropped. They had transformed an entire corner of the cafeteria into a 5-star VIP suite, complete with a lavish spread of gourmet dishes and professional waiters. Treated like a princess against her will, she sat there while classmates whispered all around her. She must have snagged some rich heir from Lion Academy. Look at her showing off. Lu Xinhua heard every word of the gossip around her, fury boiling inside. She swore she'd settle the score with Si-che one day. In Lion Academy's private dining hall, Si-che sat staring blankly at the fruit in his hand. Ji-yeon asked curiously. Little White finally calmed down. "Aren't you going to take him to talk to Lu Xinhua again?" Si-che smirked with confidence. "No rush. My plan is proceeding just fine. You'll see." His tone was full of certainty. "I guarantee that poor girl will soon come crawling to me, grateful tears in her eyes, begging to be Little White's nanny to repay my great kindness." Meanwhile, the vice president was filing a report to the dean, claiming Lu Xinhua's behavior seriously violated school rules and demanding punishment. The dean, however, looked troubled. "Those men around Lu Xinhua? They're from the school's largest shareholder, the Imperial Group. The bodyguards were specially approved by the board. All Lu Xinhua wanted was to get rid of those bodyguards. To her, they were already disturbing school order." But the dean ambled over with a smile. "Oh, Lu Xinhua, this is all goodwill from the board. I'm just an ordinary dean. I can't revoke privileges granted by them." He nudged her out the door as he continued. Since you have ties with the board, don't forget to put in a good word for the school. Try pulling in some sponsorships and investments. This year's funding depends on you." With that, he shut the door firmly, not giving her another chance to speak. Lu Xinhua shoved her hands into her pockets, stomping in frustration. Why is everyone like this? During the afternoon's PE test, Lu Xinhua insisted the bodyguards stay at least 300 meters away from her. The teacher paired her with Qi Weiwei for the long-distance run. Lu Xinhua bent down to stretch, preparing for the exam. At the same time, Si Che stretched lazily and waved to Little White. "Come on, let's go find your mom." Little White instantly transformed into human form and clung to Si Che's arm. Si Che casually asked Jiyaran, "Want to come with us? Witness the results of my brilliant plan." Jiyaran only waved him off. "No thanks. I'll stay here and wait for good news." After finishing the long run, Lu Xinhua was completely drained, gasping for breath and barely able to stand steady. She headed for her water, only to find her bottle shattered on the ground. It turned out a girl had smashed it on purpose, teaching her a lesson for showing off at school with bodyguards. Qi Weiwei walked over holding a cup of water, her voice soft. "Lu Xinhua, did your bottle break? I have some water here, would you like it?" Trusting as ever, Lu Xinhua thought Qi Weiwei was being kind and reached out, only to be shoved by another classmate, the cup crashing to the ground. The classmate sneered, "Pathetic. That was water Weiwei kindly offered you." Qi Weiwei put on her innocent act. "Oh no, I only had that one cup left." Flustered, Lu Xinhua apologized softly. "Sorry, I ruined your kindness. I'll just buy water myself." Under the blazing 40-degree heat, exhausted from the run and with no water to drink, Lu Xinhua soon felt dizzy, her head spinning more and more. Just as she was about to collapse, Si Che caught her in his arms, his brows furrowed, a trace of concern in his voice. "What happened to you?" When Lu Xinhua came to, she found herself inside a grand, castle-like residence. Still groggy, she looked around in confusion, until a voice startled her. "You're awake." She sat up in shock. Turning, she saw Si Che seated upright on a sofa, regal and composed. Lu Xinhua demanded, "Where am I? And why are you here?" Si Che answered with his usual arrogance. "This is my private lounge. Of course I can be here. I was taking Little White to find you when you collapsed from heatstroke, so I brought you back." He added with a smug smile, "Consider it a chance to experience just how luxurious Lion Academy really is." Lu Xinhua had no intention of staying a second longer. She quickly got up, ready to leave. But Si Che blocked her path. "You're not leaving. As long as you agree to take care of Little White, you can study here without worry." He leaned closer, voice coaxing. "You'll also enjoy every privilege I enjoy. Didn't today's experience already show you how different your life could be?" His eyes locked on hers as he declared, "Say yes to looking after Little White, and from this day forward, every moment of your life will be treated like that of a princess." Lu Xinhua let out a cold laugh. "Oh really? Then I should thank you." With that, she swung a fist. Having been punched before, Si Che dodged quickly this time. Irritated, he snapped, "You violent girl, why do you always resort to hitting?" Too naive, he dodged the punch only to be smacked squarely by a pillow she hurled. Lu Xinhua vented her fury, hammering him with the pillow again and again while shouting, "Are you insane? What are you even trying to do? When will you finally leave me alone?" Little White cheered her on excitedly from the side. Si Che roared, "Lu Xinhua, stop. Little White, don't you dare betray me." Inwardly though, he thought, Plan A failed, time for Plan B. Step 1. Seize the moral high ground. He straightened up, speaking with solemnity. "I thought you were a kind-hearted girl. Who knew you could be so cold and heartless?" His tone grew heavier. "Do you even understand? White dragons are the most loyal, the most devoted beings in existence. They only recognize one master, accept food from only one person. If that person refuses them, they will starve themselves. Step 2. Play the tragic dragon card." Si Che's voice was full of sorrow. "They would rather die of hunger than accept anything from another. I don't want to trouble you, but he's chosen. You're the only one in his life." He pointed at Little White, his voice softening. "Look at him. So tiny, so adorable. Could you really bear to watch him starve to death just because you turned him away?" As Lu Xinua's resolve began to falter, Si Che's lips curled in secret triumph. Plan B, success. Just then Ji-yeon walked in. Si Che, looking guilty, was about to slip away. But Ji-yeon stopped him. Wait, you still haven't gotten your dragon spirit back? Si Che slapped his hand away, his expression stiff. And none of your business. Ji-yeon tilted his head. What, you two haven't even tried the way to retrieve it yet? At that, both Si Che and Lu Xinhua snapped in unison. Shut up. Soon trays of delicious food were brought in. Lu Xinhua lovingly fed Little White, while Si Che watched in disbelief. He's even eating carrots, the one thing he hates most. What kind of magic does this fiery girl have? Ji-yeon spoke plainly. You see it yourself, Lu Xinhua. Little White only eats properly when you feed him. If it were us trying to feed him carrots, the table would have been flipped already. With a sincere tone, Ji-yeon pleaded, so please help us take care of him, even if it's just because he adores you so much. After thinking for a moment, Lu Xinhua finally nodded. Fine, I'll take care of Little White. But on one condition. Si Che is not allowed to show up in front of me again. Si Che's temper flared instantly. Why? I'm his father. Lu Xinhua shot back without hesitation. Because I hate you. Every time you show up, chaos follows. So don't force me to transfer schools. Her tone was firm. Don't appear in front of me and don't disrupt my school life. Only then will I agree to feed your dragon. With that, she carried the drowsy Little White off for a nap. Si Che stood there, stunned, his voice trembling in disbelief. She said she hates me. His chest burned with indignation. How dare she hate me? A girl who's plain hot-tempered and rough around the edges. How dare she reject my generosity? Ji-yeon, ever blunt, twisted the knife. Seems like your charm just isn't enough. The word struck Si Che right where it hurt most. Determined to prove himself, Si Che declared, this year's school music festival will be held at Imperial High. He clenched his teeth, eyes blazing. If she won't come to Lion, then I'll go to Imperial. Just wait. Sooner or later, that ungrateful fiery girl will fall at the feet of my charm. When Imperial High received the news, the entire campus erupted with excitement. An emergency meeting was called, confirming that this year's Lion Academy Music Festival would indeed be hosted at Imperial High. Gu Xingyan felt something was off. Lion had always prided itself on its nobility. Why would they suddenly agree to cooperate with a public high school like theirs? The vice president explained, Lion has always placed great importance on the music festival. This year is no exception. Their student council president will be coming in person to oversee the cooperation. As hosts, we have to give it our best. Flipping through the documents, Gu Xingyan frowned. Si Che, willing to lower himself to supervise at a school like this? Unless, he has another motive. Suddenly, the memory of what he had witnessed last time surfaced in his mind. Could it be, all because of that girl Lu Xinhua? For her, Si Che was willing to go this far? That meant she mattered to him. Gu Xingyan sneered. So, the chance for revenge has finally come. The next day, Lu Xinhua and Qi Weiwei were backstage working on the stage backdrop for the festival. A male classmate suddenly barked at Lu Xinhua. Weiwei still has to play the violin later. How can you shamelessly let her help you carry things? Qi Weiwei immediately put on her gentle act. Oh, it's fine. I don't mind moving a little. But thank you so much for caring about me. With Qi Weiwei excusing herself, Lu Xinhua was left to drag the heavy backdrop alone. Another boy, annoyed by the sight, scolded her coldly. Lu Xinhua, can't you even do simple work properly? What if you damage the stage set? At that moment, a large hand rapped both boys on the head. How can you let a girl carry stage props by herself? Hurry up and help Lu with it. The one who spoke was none other than the student council president, Gu Xingyan. Lu Xinhua flushed with embarrassment and quickly said, Thank you, Senior Gu. But really it was me who wanted to help. It's not their fault. Gu Xingyan gently brushed her hair with a doting smile. I know you're strong, but looking after girls is how it should be. He handed her a bottle of juice. Go take a rest. I bought this to reward you for working so hard just now. Lu Xinhua accepted it, her heart warming. Senior Gu is really so gentle. Then she remembered. Wait, Weiwei helped out too. She should get a juice as well. Spotting Qi Weiwei, she called out brightly, Weiwei, Senior Gu gave me 2 bottles. Since you helped too, this one's for you. Qi Weiwei took the bottle but felt no joy inside. Senior Gu went out of his way to give juice to this jinx. Why does he care about her so much? Seeing her hesitate, Lu Xino asked curiously, "What's wrong? Don't you like this flavor?" Qi Weiwei forced a cheerful smile, taking a sip. "Oh, it's perfect, I was thirsty anyway." Lu Xinhua was delighted when Qi Weiwei didn't refuse the juice, and she left in high spirits. But as soon as she was gone, Qi Weiwei tossed the bottle straight into the trash, sneering, "It's just juice. What's there to brag about?" Little did she know, Gu Xingyan had been standing in the corner the whole time watching the scene unfold. While the venue buzzed with preparations, a sudden shout rang out, "The Lion Student Council is here. Young Master Si Che has arrived too." The girls immediately rushed to the front, eager for Si Che to notice them. And indeed, when he kept silent, he looked every bit the perfect gentleman. Lu Xinhua shrank back nervously. "No, I need to get out of here, fast." But before she could escape, she was spotted. Si Che's voice boomed across the hall. "Lu Xinhua, it's already noon. Why haven't you come to feed the child yet?" Lu Xinhua fumed with rage. How dare he claim I'm useless in front of everyone? The moment Si Che spoke, the crowd buzzed with gossip. Rumors that they had a child together, muttering that there was no way someone like him would ever notice the jinx. Yet Si Che walked straight up to her with Little White in tow and said coldly, "I've already seen you." Lu Xinhua glared at him. "Didn't we agree? I feed your dragon and you stop showing up. Why can't you keep your word?" Si Che shoved the baby dragon into her arms. "You broke the deal first. Little White's been crying for you all day. Now hurry up and take him to eat." Exasperated, Lu Xinhua sighed. Fine, let's go. But once he eats, you leave immediately." From the sidelines, Qi Weiwei watched Si Che follow right behind Lu Xinhua, her eyes flickering. In the instant their gazes met, it was as if Cupid's arrow pierced her heart. And just like that, another girl had fallen. Lu Xinhua took Little White to the cafeteria. Once the little dragon was full, she immediately planned her escape. But Si Che grinned slyly. "This afternoon when Little White needs milk, I'll come find you again." Seeing that creepy smile, Lu Xinhua shivered. Great, he's definitely plotting something again. Sure enough, during the break, Lu Xinhua was dozing off by the window when a shout jolted her awake. From the courtyard below, Si Che bellowed, "Lu Xinu, a time to feed Little White." When class ended, Lu Xinhua had barely stepped outside before Si Che blocked her way. "Little White's been crying for you all day. He's in the principal's lounge. Go comfort him." Lu Xinhua glared, muttering with resentment, "So you can't feed him and you can't even comfort him. Some father you are, completely useless." Si Che bristled with fury. "You peasant girl, who are you calling useless?" Just then, Qi Weiwei chimed in eagerly. "President Si Che, do you need someone to help take care of the baby?" She added sweetly, "I've been volunteering at an orphanage for years that I'm very experienced with children. Maybe I could help you." Si Che chuckled. "No need. Not everyone is worthy of caring for my Little White." With that, he turned and walked away in style, leaving Qi Weiwei's face dark with anger. "Unworthy. She see that I'm the school beauty of Imperial High. How could I be beneath that jinx? Lu Xinu, enjoy your little moment. Your days are numbered." Meanwhile, Lu Xinhua grumbled in frustration, scrubbing Little White's bottles at the secluded washing area. "That annoying jerk. He promised not to bother me, but he never keeps his word." Suddenly, a gentle voice came from the side. "Need a hand, Lu?" Startled, she looked up. It was Gu Xingyan. Flustered, the bottle slipped from her hands. Gu Xingyan caught it swiftly, saving it from shattering. "That's a lot to carry," he said kindly. "Let me walk you back to class." As he spoke, he naturally reached out and ruffled her hair. Neither of them noticed the hidden camera in the corner, silently capturing the moment. On the way back, Lu Xinhua was still lost in thought, wondering why Gu Xingyan wanted to escort her. Just then a tennis ball came flying from a distance, nearly hitting her. Luckily, Gu Xingyan reacted in time, swooping in for a picture-perfect rescue. And once again the camera recorded every intimate second. Lu Xinhua pressed her burning cheeks, embarrassed and flustered. Si Che sighed helplessly at Little White, who kept whining and howling. "What do you want? Didn't I tell you she's on her way?" Just then Qi Weiwei stumbled upon the scene. A sly thought crossed her mind. The jinx isn't here. This is my chance. Putting on her sweetest, most artificial smile, she cooed, "Oh dear, young Master Siche, is the baby upset? How about I keep you company, take him for a stroll in our school garden? The flowers are lovely, he'd cheer up right away." Without waiting for a reply, she knelt in front of Little White, her tone dripping with sugar. "Baby, how about sister takes you to see the flowers?" But Little White ignored her completely. Siche scooped Little White back into his arms, coldly rejecting her. "No need." The moment Little White spotted Lu Xinhua, he lit up, soaring happily into the air and calling out, "Mama! Mama!" The picture of the three together was so warm it burned Chi Weiwei with jealousy. Suddenly, a chilling voice whispered from behind her. "You hate her, don't you? As long as Lu Xinhua exists, no one will ever notice you. You can't outshine her. Beside her, you're nothing. Don't you want revenge? Don't you want to take back everything she's stolen from you?" A spell was cast upon Chi Weiwei, and her mind twisted until only one thought remained. Revenge. She must destroy Lu Xinhua. The figure chuckled darkly, satisfied. "Good. Then do exactly as I say, make them all suffer." At that moment, Chi Weiwei's eyes shifted color, filled with malice. She wanted Lu Xinhua to suffer. After feeding Little White, Lu Xinhua stretched and let out a long sigh. "This lunch break is exhausting." Chi Weiwei approached, bitterness dripping from her voice. "Lu Xinhua, you look awfully comfortable." Seeing her upset, Lu Xinhua asked gently, "What's wrong? Are you in a bad mood? Did something happen? Do you want to talk about it?" Chi Weiwei let out a chilling laugh. "Talk to you? Fine." Suddenly, she lunged like a madwoman, hands clamping around Lu Xinhua's throat. "You jinx! You monster! Why do both Gu Xingyan and Siche like you? Why are you always the one above me?" Stunned, Lu Xinhua gasped. "What's wrong with you? What are you even talking about?" Completely unhinged, Chi Weiwei tightened her grip, snarling, "Why don't you just die? You're hideous. Why should you get all the attention? Why should it be you?" In that instant, a strong hand seized hers. It was Siche, his gaze sharp as a blade. He barked coldly, "Didn't I warn you? Stay at least 10 meters away from me and Little White. If I catch you again, don't blame me for what happens." With that, he flung her hand away forcefully. Chi Weiwei collapsed to the ground and passed out instantly. Siche glanced at her motionless body and sneered, "Stop pretending." Lu Xinhua quickly spoke up, "Don't be like that at least." But before she could finish, Siche cut her off. "At least she's your classmate, or your friend. If I hadn't shown up, she might have scarred your face forever, and you're still defending her?" Lu Xinhua had only meant to say, "At least she's a girl that if people saw this, they'd accuse you of being cruel." But Siche only smirked coldly. "Yet I don't know if you're stupid or just a hopeless do-gooder. Ordinary humans really do think in the strangest ways." Lu Xinhua exploded. "Who are you calling stupid? I was actually worried about you. You're the one who doesn't appreciate it." Siche's face darkened. "Ungrateful. I saved you, and instead of thanking me, you accuse me of not knowing gratitude?" Faced with his anger, Lu Xinhua spun on her heel. "Forget it. The dragon's already fed. Stop bothering me." She snapped over her shoulder. "I'll take Chi Weiwei to the infirmary. Unlike you, hurting a girl and leaving her there. Cold-blooded brute." In that moment, dark magic surged once more through Chi Weiwei's body. Her eyes snapped open as she shoved Lu Xinhua straight into the river, screaming, "Lu Xinhua, go to hell." Little White's eyes went crimson as he watched his mother plunge into the water. Fury erupted within him. That woman dared to hurt my mom. With a deafening boom, Little White lost control. His body expanding in a flash as he transformed into his massive dragon form, power raging like a storm across the scene. With the magic gone, Chi Weiwei looked dazed and confused, having no idea where she was, or why Lu Xinhua had ended up in the river. Little White let out a thunderous roar, the sound shaking the ground. Chi Weiwei spun around in terror, only to see the colossal white dragon looming before her. Her legs gave out and she collapsed to her knees. Lu Xinhua rushed forward, desperate to calm Little White down. But Siche seized her arm, shouting, "Are you insane? Can't you see Little White's out of control? If you run in now and he bites you, what then?" Little White's crimson eyes blazed as he opened his massive jaws, ready to devour Chi Weiwei in one gulp. At the last second, Siche unleashed a glowing array, its power locking around the dragon's body and freezing him in place. Siche then cast a spell on Little White, and with a loud boom, the dragon shrank back into his adorable baby form. Chi Weiwei, half delirious, kept mumbling, "A dragon? No, don't eat me." At that moment, Ji Yaran appeared out of nowhere, his tone laced with exasperation. She saw Little White's true form. "I really don't know what to say to you too. I'll erase her memory." With a wave of his hand, he cast the memory cleansing spell on Chi Weiwei, finally putting her into a quiet slumber. Cradling the unconscious girl, Ji Yaran shot Si Che a cold look. "I'll handle the cleanup. I'll take her to the infirmary." Before leaving, he added sharply, "Hopefully someone can learn to be more careful and stop causing messes that require memory wipes." Si Che spread his hands innocently. "Huh? How is this my fault?" Holding the sleeping Little White in her arms, Lu Xinhua asked anxiously, "Will he be okay?" Si Che answered calmly, "He'll be fine. That he just burned out his strength when he lost control. Let him rest for the afternoon." After a moment of silence, both of them spoke at the same time. Si Che gave in, saying, "You first." Flustered and blushing, Lu Xinhua mumbled, "I just wanted to say, you're not that annoying. I mean, today, thank you." With that, she turned away quickly and left without looking back. Watching her retreating figure, Si Che realized his heartbeat had inexplicably sped up. But then Ji Yaran's words echoed in his mind. "She's your destined one." Si Che immediately rejected the thought. No, he would never believe in fate. Especially not with that hot-tempered commoner girl. The next day, Chi Weiwei, the school's goddess, suddenly collapsed in class, drawing the immediate concern of her classmates who rushed to her side. Off to the side, Lu Xinhua bit her lip in worry. Will Chi Weiwei spill what she saw about Little White turning into a dragon? Chi Weiwei turned her head with a cryptic smile, instantly tightening the knot of worry in Lu Xinhua's chest. This is bad. Is she about to expose Little White's secret? Horrific scenarios flashed through Lu Xinhua's mind. Would Little White be captured? Locked away in a lab? Dissected? No. I can't let Little White get hurt. She was just about to stand up and intervene when Chi Weiwei spoke with a smug smile. Yesterday I only got a little heat stroke. Luckily I ran into Ji Yaran. I was just a bit dizzy, but he insisted on carrying me to the infirmary. Honestly, it was a bit of an overreaction. The girls around her gasped with envy. Wow, Ji Yaran is so considerate. To be princess carried by him. Only someone like Weiwei, the school goddess, could be that lucky. Seeing that Chi Weiwei truly seemed to have forgotten everything about Little White, Lu Xinhua finally let out a breath of relief. Later that afternoon, as she passed the bulletin board, she noticed a crowd gathered, whispering excitedly. Looks like someone's been cheating. In the middle of the gossip, someone suddenly called her out. Lu Xinhua, why don't you come over here and explain yourself? Lu Xinhua looked utterly confused. Explain what? What's going on? A girl shoved her straight to the front of the bulletin board. Lifting her head, she froze. The board displayed a blown-up photograph. In the picture were a boy and a girl. Her and Gu Xingyan walking back to class that day, their posture far too intimate. The crowd sneered. Some people really have no shame. One guy isn't enough. She has to throw herself at every boy? Suddenly, a sharp, confident male voice cut through the noise. Don't talk about her like that. Things aren't the way you think. That I really do like Lu Xinhua. Gasps erupted. What? Seriously? Why her of all people? Lu Xinhua was stunned. Senior Gu, what are you talking about? Right then, Gu Xingyan wrapped an arm around her, his eyes serious. Lu Xinhua, I truly like you. Will you be my girlfriend? Faced with Gu Xingyan's sudden confession, Lu Xinhua was struck speechless, unsure how to respond. And from the shadows, Si Che watched the entire scene unfold, every detail burning into his mind. Si Che stormed up, demanding coldly, Lu Xinhua, what were you doing clinging to that guy? Lu Xinhua panicked on the spot, completely flustered. She quickly tried to drag Si Che away from the crowd. But the young master only sneered. He wasn't about to let this go so easily. From below, the students started jeering. Si Che, that jinx is cheating right in front of you. Si Che's fury erupted. Shut your mouths, all of you, he roared. Gu Xingyan meanwhile stood smirking with a look of mischief. Dragging Lu Xinhua into the hallway, Si Che pinned her with a glare sharp as blades. Stay away from that Gu guy. From now on you're mine. Lu Xinhua shot him a defiant look. What I do has nothing to do with you. With that she spun around and walked off. Just then Ji Yaran walked over, mocking Si Che with a sharp-tongued jab. The young master snapped, his composure cracking. If you've got that much free time, why don't you dig into that goo guy instead? Meanwhile, the music festival had begun, but the first scheduled performer was nowhere to be found. In a rush, the student council president hastily called on Chi Weiwei to go on stage. But she only flashed a sinister smile, her eyes sliding toward Lu Xinhua standing behind her. When the host announced the next performer's name, Lu Xinhua nearly froze in panic. She stammered, "I never even signed up." But the host shoved her forward anyway, pushing her onto the stage. In the audience, Si Che looked completely dumbfounded. That girl's performing? On stage, Lu Xinhua stood frozen, unsure what to do, until Gu Xingyan suddenly stepped up beside her, his gaze tender. "Don't be afraid. Just sing whatever you like that I'll play for you." Watching this, Si Che's jealousy flared like wildfire, his face darkened, and without another word, he stormed out of the hall. After their performance, the two walked off stage still clinging to each other, their closeness impossible to ignore. Suddenly, Gu Xingyan stopped in his tracks, his gaze intense. "Xiao Nuo, have you decided? Will you be my girlfriend?" At that moment, Si Che appeared out of nowhere, his voice like a whip. "Lu Xinhua, don't believe him, he's lying to you." But Lu Xinhua snapped back, her anger flaring. "This is between me and Senior Gu. It has nothing to do with you." The young master finally lost control. Summoning the Dragon Clan's water magic, he unleashed a spell that shot straight at Gu Xingyan. The blast struck Gu Xingyan square in the chest. Lu Xinhua cried out in panic. "Si Che, why are you attacking Senior Gu?" Si Che's eyes blazed with fury. "Open your eyes and see his true form." In the next instant, dragon scales appeared along Gu Xingyan's ears. Lu Xinua's eyes widened in shock. "Senior Gu, you're a dragon too?" And worse, she realized the scandalous photo on the bulletin board had been orchestrated by none other than Gu Xingyan himself. Just then, Jiyaran arrived, his voice cutting cold. "I've uncovered the truth. He's been plotting revenge ever since you cast him out of the Dragon Clan 10 years ago." The words struck Si Che, sudden realization flashing across his face. Gu Xingyan slowly rose to his feet, his expression dark. "That's right, that I've lived through nightmares for a decade, all for this day, to make you feel what it's like to lose everything." Beside them, Lu Xinhua stood utterly confused. What does this even mean?" Jiyaran's gaze grew heavy, his voice dipping as he began recalling the grim past. 10 years ago, Gu Xingyan had used dragon magic to save a human girl, an act that broke the clan's forbidden law. The ruling was brutal. He was to be seized, his wings torn off, and cast into the dungeons for eternity. Hearing this, Lu Xinhua froze in shock. Then, before she could think, she rushed forward, standing in front of Gu Xingyan with arms spread wide to shield him. The sight sent Si Che into a rage. "Are you out of your damn mind? After everything he's done to hurt you, you still defend him?" But Lu Xinhua stood firm. "This all started because of me. I'll transfer to Lane Academy and take care of Little White. Just cancel Senior Gu's punishment." Si Che was struck speechless. Everything he had done for her meant nothing, yet for this man she would bend without hesitation. His chest burned with pain and fury, the sting unbearable. With a furious glare, he spun on his heel and stormed away. But to her shock, Gu Xingyan showed no gratitude, his voice was ice cold. "Just wait. One day I'll take back everything that's rightfully mine." Elsewhere, Lu Xinhua showed up to school without wearing a bra for the first time, and the campus queen spotted it instantly. Mockery from her classmates rained down, sharp and merciless. Yet Lu Xinhua didn't flinch. Instead, she even tried to befriend the queen. But the queen sneered, "You, a mere human commoner, and you think you belong here with us?" With that, she rallied others to drive Lu Xinhua out of the academy. Lu Xinhua stood frozen, helpless under their hostility. Just then, the door burst open. Si Che strode in, his tone cold and commanding. "I personally approved her transfer into Lane. Who dares object?" Silence fell instantly. Not a single voice dared to rise in protest. Lu Xinhua was stunned by the scene. Did he actually stand up for me on purpose? For the first time, her heart wavered. She was truly moved by this man. Back at the academy, Si Che wasted no time. He summoned everyone for a meeting, and Jiyaran immediately announced Gu Xingyan's return. The hall erupted in chaos. "What? That's the same guardian who broke clan law and was cast out. We won't study alongside a traitor." Che's patience finally snapped, his voice cut like ice. You're from a water family yourself, yet you lead the charge against my water guardian returning to the clan. Tell me, are you eyeing that position for yourself? The girl who had spoken out turned pale on the spot, her bravado collapsing as fear washed over her. Che then declared on the spot that the girl would be expelled immediately. The crowd's expressions shifted. Being cast out of lane was one of the greatest disgraces a dragon could suffer. Even Gu Xingyan was left stunned that he never expected Che to value him this much. Che pressed harder, citing disrespecting the royal bloodline as grounds, forcing everyone to accept Gu Xingyan's reinstatement without question. Meanwhile, Lu Xinhua was quietly focused on her studies, only to be targeted once again by the campus queen. With a mocking smile, the queen spoke up. Since Prince Che personally approved your transfer, you must be excellent in every way. Why don't you enlighten me? Surely you know how to make an advanced French dessert? Rather than back down, Lu Xinhua met the challenge head-on and accepted without hesitation. Even the homeroom teacher came over, eager to watch the drama unfold. Why don't we make it interesting? Both of you will create a dessert themed around summer. As a top-tier pastry chef, the campus queen felt victory was already in her grasp, while Lu Xinhua looked utterly flustered. The timer started and the queen dove in with practiced, elegant movements. By contrast, Lu Xinhua still stood there looking lost. As the queen's exquisite cake took shape, the students gasped in awe. It was nothing short of a work of art. Then out of nowhere, Lu Xinhua announced her cake was finished. To everyone's eyes, it looked painfully plain, leaving the crowd cringing in second-hand embarrassment. But the moment she sliced into it, a cascade of golden summer meteors burst forth, dazzling the entire room. The teacher's jaw nearly dropped as he stroked his chin in disbelief. Could this be the long-lost Da Vinci method?